St. Brendan was an early Irish saint born around 484. In his drawing for this panel, Harry Clarke gives it the title Brendan the Navigator. St. Brendan is depicted in scarlet robes with a green cloak over a netted alb. He is holding an embellished wooden oar representing his sea voyages. His head is uncovered, and to his left, his gaze possibly seeing far-off lands he had yet to discover. He has brown hair and a beard. Brendan, shod in traditional pamputis of soft leather, holds two colourful, shimmering fish in his left hand. Harry Clarke's skill in manipulating glass gives the impression that the scales are still glistening from the sea water. An exotic bird of paradise rests near his feet, on the left of the panel. According to legend, this bird never sits upon the earth, being born in paradise. In Christian iconography, this bird represents the soul. This beautifully designed plinth relates to his sea voyages and the many waves he would have encountered. St. Brendan was born in Kerry, the son of Finlug of an ancient and noble family. He is credited with founding the sees of Ardfert and Anadown and establishing a church at Inchigill Island on Lough Corrib, close to Ballinrobe. His great monastery at Clonfert housed over 3,000 monks, with their rule being one of strict austerity. This early Irish monastery and school was the dominant ecclesiastical centre in the area and an important centre of learning in the early Irish Church. Accounts of Brendan's great seafaring adventures were first committed to writing in the 11th century in the Navigator Sancti Brendani Abbatis. The voyage was dominated by crystals that rose up to the sky, probably icebergs, and they were pelted with flaming, foul-smelling rocks, which was probably a volcano. Sea monsters, probably whales, frolicked around them. Irish monks, who were renowned travellers, probably reached America centuries before Columbus. Following Tim Severin's successful reconstruction of a skin boat in the early 70s and his subsequent adventures in the North Atlantic, proved that Brendan's voyages would have been possible. This is a beautiful drawing signed by Clarke for St. Brendan's symbol. This fascinating, isolated island, titled by Clarke as the Isle of Birds, is in the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of County Kerry. In this predella, which is the only night scene in St. Mary's, Brendan is depicted with his faithful crew under a starry night. His monks, who were fishermen of souls, can be seen trailing their nets from their curragh-style boat. Brendan is being directed on his journey by a spiritual guide. You can see the angel pointing the directions to him after a prayer for guidance. Brendan the Navigator died in Clonfert in 577 after a long and active life. He was 93 years old.